Here we go again. Oh my gosh, man. Man. Why would you ask him for this? And then get upset that he left you? He left me while I was gone with my family. You weren't with your family. Why'd you take your ring
I
off?
asked my fiancé for open marriage and he ghosted me and canceled the wedding. My ex-fiancé who claimed to love me, who asked me to be his wife, before even asking me, he asked my stepfather if it was okay to marry me. He canceled the wedding and ghosted me like a coward. He couldn't stand up to my stepfather, all because I asked for open marriage later in our future. I didn't think the question was silly at all. There's not a guarantee that we're going to love each other or be in the honeymoon phase our entire relationship. Why not talk about the things now instead of waiting? So, I guess you men really want women to stop having sex with you or have an attitude here and there to find out that we want to sleep with somebody else. Why don't we plan it up front? Okay, 2 to 3 years, maybe the honeymoon phase is just gone. We are going to crave others. It's only human. Saying that caused my ex fiance to leave me, someone he claimed he loved. I asked him for this, and he straight up told me no. I thought that was the end of it. We're going to move on to get married. This man started packing his things, waited like a coward for me not to be home. He knew I was going to be away for the weekend. He packed everything of his. He left my apartment. I get comfortable over the last year and a half, splitting the rent with him, and he leaves? He moved into my apartment, and I never put him on the lease. I wish I would sue the heck out of him. I'm back paying full rent and everything. I have to move out at the end of my lease. I've already ran my credit cards and everything up. He's such a freaking idiot. My stepfather threatens to beat the crap out of him. I cried in my stepdad's arms. He held me and told me everything was going to be okay, and he told me that I dodged a bullet and that my ex Maximus will get it. Actually, true story, you can call him Maxi Pad. That's what my stepdad told me because he's a PU, the rest. Another double whammy is this. My cousin told me when the wedding was canceled that she was excited that I wasn't married to Max. I asked her why. She told me that she slept with my ex fiance way before I even met him. They met at a bar a while ago, and they were young, and they hooked up. She said she always remembered him because she really liked him, but clearly he just wanted to hook up. She said she was sure that he remembered her. He had never acknowledged her, and over the years she came to the conclusion that he really just forgotten about her. She had never forgot about him. I was ticked off. I wanted to take some anger out on my cousin. It wouldn't have been the first time I beat her ash. My cousin and I fought all the time, and a few times it was about a boy. I'm not surprised that she couldn't wait to rub it in my face that she slept with Max. Tony competed with me because she knows she's ugly. That's a completely different story. I'm sure your audience doesn't want to hear that one on your YouTube. But anyway, I'm pretty sure most got the gist of what happened. You guys know I asked my fiance for open marriage, and he canceled the wedding. It doesn't hurt to go into a little backstory, so I met my fiance in 2021. We were both 27 years old. We hit it off immediately, not like he and my cousin did. I'm nothing like her, she's just disgusting. We didn't have sex the first time we met, when he met me. He told me I was beautiful. This man looked at me in my eyes and said, "You are stunningly beautiful. Oh my gosh, if it's not weird, I'd love to take a picture of you." My response was, "Which angle do you want?" I allowed Max to take a picture of me. I was just head over heels over him. He's handsome, but the compliment he gave me telling me I was stunningly beautiful was just amazing. I've always been told that I was pretty, but just hearing him say it the way he said it was completely different. After he took his picture, I asked him if I could look at the picture. I really didn't care about what the picture looked like. Heck, I know what I look like, but I put my number in his phone. I told him my name. Told him call me. He took the phone back and he smiled. He said, "All right. Talk soon." I felt amazing. I was out shopping that day. Decided to go get some cheesecake. When I got home, I had to tell someone. I called my mom. I told her everything. How this guy just gave me the best compliment ever, and I gave him my number, and I think he's the one. My mom said I was silly and told me I should probably be single for a while because I just recently got out of a relationship literally 3 days before this day. So maybe that's why the compliment hit so hard. I was just newly single. I was hurting. So, my previous relationship before, I can admit that I made a mistake. I had sex with my ex's coworker. Now, this was a mistake because I thought we were on a break. We had an argument, and it was very, very bad. We were both slinging bad names at each other. In my head, after saying harsh things with someone, you're pretty much done. So the coworker always hit on me, and I decided to Facebook him. He responded immediately, and I told him that we should hang out. This coworker invited me to his house, and I thought we were just going to have some drinks and hang out, but we ended up having sex. Really great, I might add. This coworker bragged at work around my ex, bullying my ex about it. My ex and I were still living together, but I was already planning on moving out. I even told him that, but when he found out that I slept with his coworker, he lost it and snapped on me. Told me we were just having a hard time and this is what I do. I told him I thought we were broken up, and he said, "You freaking bish." No, we were not broken up. You know this. But now we are. Get your crap and get the F out of my house right now before I throw you out. I was hurt when he threatened to physically throw me out, but I guess I could understand his pain. I had some of my family members come over and get my things, and I was out, back living with my mom and my stepdad. With that ex, that was the first time I moved out of my parents' house and I moved into his place. He had a really nice house. That guy is actually in prison right now. He stabbed a guy at a bar. I guess I really dodged a bullet. He could have hurt me. Anyway, I was recently out of a relationship, thank God, but I met Max, and it was just great. So I went against my mother's wishes, and I did not stay single. I was ready to date, so I gave Max the opportunity to take me out. And he showed me that he was a true gentleman at the time. We went out several times before we even had sex. I wasn't going to put out too early, like I said. I had just gotten out of a relationship. Technically, my ex-boyfriend and me were still having sex up until he found out I cheated. I slept with his coworker. I wasn't going to give my body away to someone else right after getting out of a relationship. So after 3 dates, I finally had sex with Max. It was amazing. We both enjoyed each other, and from there we started to seriously date immediately after having sex. I told him that I wasn't just some woman that he can just lay with. I'm looking to get married. I want to be a wife someday, and he told me he would not treat me as such, and he could tell that I was a good woman. We traveled together and had road trips. We did a lot together before he proposed. While I was dating Max, my parents thought it would be a good idea that I found my own place to live and told me that I should not move in with another man. I agreed with that, so I found me a place to stay. By the way, I didn't like paying my own rent. I will be honest, I miss staying with my parents and just helping with a couple bills. Having to pay everything was tiring and draining on me. Actually, I had to find a new job. My stepdad helps me out, but I got a new job, and I was getting paid very well, but the extra money I was making, I wanted to spend it on clothes and shopping. I eventually convinced Max to move in with me. I was ecstatic, not even 3 days after he moved in. Max proposed to me in my kitchen. It was beautiful. The ring was amazing. I couldn't wait to show everyone, but one of my hating friends, who I'm actually not friends with now, one of my ex-friends told me that I need to get the ring appraised. She also told me that I was moving too fast with Max and the appraisal of this ring will be the icing on the cake because she can tell that it's fake and it's not worth anything. She asked me to ask Max how much the ring cost, and he didn't have the type of money he said he had because if he did, he wouldn't go 50-50 paying the apartment. But I didn't feel right telling him to move in and pay all the bills. Now, if he was my husband, that's a different story, but we weren't married yet. We were simply just engaged, which I was happy with. But I listened to my friend, and I went and got the ring appraised. He came with me. Max did not lie about this price for the ring. The ring was $7,000, and it appraises for that much. Well, close enough to it. Where I couldn't call him a liar, neither could my ex-friend. My ex-friend told me to test Max, just to ask him for something and see if he would do it, since he said he had all this extra money from stocks and investments and things like that. He told me to ask him to pay off my vehicle. I didn't want to ask Max that. I didn't want to push him away and make him think that I didn't want to work. I actually like working. I like my job. I didn't go to college for it, but I like the work that I did. And I would have kept working our entire marriage. My friend says, ask him if he'd pay off your car. Just see what he says. I tried it. I asked if he could pay off my Toyota. I laughed when I said it. He looked at me and said, how much do you owe on that thing? I told him $8,000. Max just said okay and asked me if I could make spaghetti for dinner. I smiled. I said absolutely. I went in there and I made the best spaghetti I've ever made in my life. Breadsticks. I even made a salad. Watching him eat my food was amazing. He loved it, told me I was such an amazing cook. That next day, it was a Saturday, I woke up and Max was gone. He came back and I was sitting on the couch. He walks over to me and hands me a cashier's check made out to the bank I had the car loan from for $8,000. I asked him, how do you know the bank to make it out to? He said he saw it in my mail. Max apologizes for going through my mail, and I told him he could do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. I started crying and I jumped up and I hugged him and I thanked him. I told him I was so glad to meet him. Monday morning, I went to the bank and I paid off my car. I was so happy. Wow. Max really does have the type of money he talks about. He didn't brag often, but he had told me a couple times that he was into investing and things like that, but he said he never quit his 9 to 5. That would be stupid. He could have easily retired. He said, but he's not quitting his 9 to 5. He actually loved what he was doing, and he loved investing his money as well. I knew Max had money somewhere as well. He was a really good saver, and he was really frugal. To him, giving me that money was nothing for him. He didn't put extra hours at his job or anything. It was just another day. Once I told my ex-friend what happened, she tried to use me. She had some credit card bills that she needed to pay off, and she said that I should lie and say that they're my credit cards and I need them paid off. $11,000. Of course I refused, and that was the end of my relationship with her. She actually got upset with me and tried to say that she was going to lie to Max and tell him that I've been telling her all his business and stealing from him. I realized she really wasn't my friend. She never was my friend. She always used me since we were young. She always took advantage of me, and I allowed it. To be honest with you, I used to be afraid of her. She was always a big girl, bigger than everybody else, and I've seen her pound some faces. And I'm not just talking girls. She fought boys as well. Max and I were doing great. We split the bills in my apartment. I was okay with it. He had done a lot for me. Paid off my car. Oh my gosh, I really found a good man. Now I'll be honest. Max and I's sex life was a hit and miss. There would be times he would knock my socks off 2 to 3 times in a row. Then the next 4 to 5 times, he'll be lazy. Wouldn't even be concerned about me getting off. He knew how much I loved when he went down. That was my favorite. Honestly, that's how most women get off. He just wants to get himself off and forget all about me. That stuff started to be a toll on me. I started complaining a lot. When I complain, then he'll be knocking my socks off 7 to 8 times in a row. Then have 1 or 2 lazy moments, but then he'll pick it back up because He knew I wasn't happy afterwards. This went on for a year and a half right before our wedding. We were gearing up to get married. Everything was paid for. Max paid for some things, but my stepfather paid for most of everything. I sat down one night when we were drinking in the living room. We were on our second bottle of wine, and we were laying on the floor with the fireplace on. It was a romantic night. We had sex that night, and it was decent. It wasn't his best effort, but it definitely wasn't his worst. I asked him what he thought about open marriage. I didn't necessarily say we should have an open marriage. I really was just asking the question. Max straight up told me no, he would never do something like that, and he would never sign up for this. He then asks me if I've been thinking about it, and if I wanted one. I said, well, I could see it being beneficial to us later down the line. Then he starts questioning me, asking me if I was cheating on him. I swore to him that I never cheated on him, and I wasn't cheating on him, and I didn't plan on it. I ask again and say so. You would never consider it in our marriage? Max looked at me and said, no, I will not. We slept in different areas of the apartment that night. I stayed in the living room while he slept in the bedroom. I didn't think we were done, though. I didn't think he would do this to me. When I left the house the next day to be away with my family, I thought Max was just going through his things. I'm come to find out this man was actually packing his bags to leave me. I got back to my apartment on a Sunday, and I noticed immediately after walking in the door that there was a key sitting on the glass table by my front door. I recognized it as my door key. I put it in, and it worked. I thought to myself, why would there be a key here? There are only two keys. I go back to the bedroom. My TV is gone. Max bought it, but he bought it for the apartment, so he technically stole it from me. I'm looking in the closet, and all of his clothes, shoes, equipment gone. I go to the spare bedroom where he took over the closet with his stuff, cleaned out, all gone. He took everything. I went to the bathroom. His things are gone. I was devastated. I panicked. I tried calling him. He blocked me. Tried messaging him on Facebook. Blocked. He blocked me out of his life. Just like that. I then panicked and remembered that I left my ring in my drawer on my side of the bed. It was gone, and a note was there. The note read, "You must really think I'm stupid. Family time for the weekend, sure. I guess that's why you left your ring, huh? F you and have a miserable life without me." I was devastated. I lost Max and he had the ring. I could have at least sold that ring and got money. I called my stepdad crying. My stepdad called him and told him he'd kick his ass for hurting his little girl. Apparently, Max cursed my dad out and threatened to put money on his head. I had no idea what that meant until my stepdad told me that it meant he'd pay someone to harm my stepdad. Max blocked everyone. I have no idea where he is. His family won't speak to me and act as if I don't exist. I can't wait to move back in with my parents. I'm sick of working and paying so many bills. I need a break, a reset to get my life together.
Here we go again. Oh my gosh, man. Man. Why would you ask him for this? And then get upset that he left you? He's such a coward. He left me while I was gone with my family. You weren't with your family. Why'd you take your ring off? He found out some stuff. He did his investigation. I'm glad he got that ring back. I'm glad he got that ring. That's the first thing. Oh, his stuff is gone. Let me go see if my ring is where I put it. Nope. He found it. I love it. Man, and hold on. When you met Max, you had just gotten out of a relationship where you got caught cheating. You slept with your ex's coworker by mistake, you said. Guys, this is getting ridiculous. Ma'am, you know good and stay single. Listen, if your stepdad and your mom is going to let you stay home, stay home. Stop moving in with people. Stop getting boyfriends. You don't want to be with one person. You made that clear. The honeymoon phase may end. So you think you need to be with other people while you're committed to one person. You want to marry someone and then sleep with other people? Just stop. Just stop, man. I don't know why he paid off your car. He paid off your car. Oh, guys, don't be out here doing stuff like that. Don't. No, 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 no. Moving off fast, paying off stuff. I don't care how much money you got. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing. Look how she repaid him. Look how she repaid him. Yeah, the sex is so. You know, he'll do good for 4 or 5 days and then he'll take a couple days off. And I thought you loved him. I thought you wanted to marry him. Four times out of six. Let's say you do it 6 times in a month. And 4 times he's knocking your socks off. Ma'am, take it. Dang. What more do you want? He paid your car off? This is ridiculous. Guys, if you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.